Sticha incursion. So, see if
I'm
we can
ready.
handle this.
I'm always ready.
Unearth the buried knowledge of the Sticha language in your mind. You turn the tides on yourself, burning away the accumulated detritus of the amnesia settled in your mind. Light flares within your vision, mandalas dancing before your eyes, and a host of images flickers through your memory. You see yourself interacting with the stitches, exchanging hand signals, and a small box between you translating your words and thoughts, forcing your muscles to react. With a rush, information pours into your mind. The smell of granite fills your nose. Knowledge. As you return to normal consciousness, Chekekt leans forward. Chekekt smell granite. Knowledge. It rumbles. Its spiracles vent a minuscule trace of gas. The Stitches looks at you, and its body posture and slight movements indicate a question. Does human speak Stitches? Your muscles remember, and you twitch the proper response. Chikek hops the scent of lightning. Never speak Chikek to human so. Heard memory from elder, not believe. Human almost sentient. Imagine, grub think like Stitches. It claps its hands together. Speak smart, better now. Um, you tell me about this place. Good tunnel rock, many hidden paths, place to store eggs, strong electricity when we dig, good for eating. Pelii. We've talked about this again, but we didn't know his language then. Fish head person, different grub, shine strangely in Stitch's eyes, smell bad in mind, much like other humans. His hand tears a chunk from the wall. I don't want to talk about her hiring us to get the eggs. I mean, I don't think it will basically do any good. It'll just sour the situation. At least that's not plan A. Can you tell me more about the Sticha? It considers the question briefly and then emits a puff of pheromones that smell of soft rock crumbling under determined hands. It reminds you of resigned acceptance. Speak, Jacket will answer. I found a dead Stitches near here. Can you tell me anything about that? Nell tunnel. Brood made weakened. Could not feed self. Could not feed eggs. Digs tunnel to collapse on self. Not one burden, Stitcha family. The great head on the creature shakes ponderously. Barely strong enough to collapse tunnel. Failed in life. Too weak perhaps. How did you come to be under Sega's cliffs in the first place? It shrugs, its massive exoskeletal plates grinding. No ancient ever to tell. 4 generations only in caves. We live in instinct, only guess at legacy. Memory stolen. It growls in frustration. It pats the wall nearby. Stitches hatch from egg, yes? Yes, trader come from evil bloom. Other worlds. Think humans stole eggs. Humans brought eggs to world. Humans hatch eggs. Marvel stitches. A mystery to buyer. Released here. The cake exhales from its spiracles. Must guess at function. Must guess at society. Maybe advanced ones. Maybe great civilization. Now? Now only dig. Dig for clues. Why are you digging here? This arm. Chikek raises his great arm. Dig. Draw energy from rock, from friction. Eat electrical charge. Store electric charge. It points to the spiky growth on its plating. Here, good rock, good. Hard. Much electric. Best found. Other places. Not good. So, at least there's a potential there to... I mean, they have a reason for being here, so if we could maybe have another location where there is good rock or an alternative electrical source, we could get them to live on their own. Why are you digging under populated areas? The Sticha stares blankly at you, its eyes shimmering. It seems to be trying to put its thoughts into a statement you can understand. Sticha must survive, must live where food is, yes? It doesn't wait for an affirmation. Human watch every step, avoid stepping on insect, no impact on other life, sacrifice of others is natural order. It taps you on the chest. Smart for human. Points toward the rest of the underbelly. Not smart. Why concern? Not. It gropes for the word. Not sentient. Right, because they don't communicate like them, so they're not sentient. That's not really true. The Stitches shift its weight back and forth. Simple humans. Fight, eat, kill. Try steal eggs. Not harmony. Sentient. It thrills out a scarf. Right. The digging is causing problems for the people above. Not concerned to Sticha. Right. So they don't give two shits about that. I think trying to find a better place for them, it makes a lot more sense, because if they don't give two shits about what the humans think, this will basically end in a fight if I can't convince them that they have a reason to leave. The humans are not the reason for them. I wonder how deadly they are in a fight. I don't want to test that. What are my options? Stop digging. Move to deeper beneath the city. I can promise a regular tribute of power sources for your people from the city. I don't see how moving deeper would really help. Maybe the rock isn't good there, or maybe it doesn't remove the fundamental problem. Regular tribute is something I can't promise. The humans are suffering, Sticha don't give a shit. Yeah, they will collapse, they will kill them, without doubt, but I don't like my options. At least I know what the deal is. I'm not sure who I should consult with this. I don't think Elia is a good one. She wants the eggs. Tell me about the slave families. They are the leaders of the city, the shepherds of the poor and downtrodden. It is through their beneficence that we continue to survive against those who would exploit us. She waves a hand to indicate the surrounding cavern. They have made me their agent so that I can carry their word even to the darker recesses of the city. Okay, any news about the Sticha? Vicious scuttlers. If only someone made a large enough food. I do not believe any of us will be safe until they have been relocated. Right. I don't think she knows anything. But I want to look at my options again. No, she doesn't know shit. Does someone else know something about the Sticha? uh, the Michaela was at least trading with them.
Yes. Now. Yes. Now.
I might have new options because now I managed to communicate with them. No. Maybe the mapper? No.
Why, of course.
Is there hard rock somewhere? Do you know of a place where the rock is hard and full of energies of prior worlds? The kind that the Sticha like to dig?
Making a note.
He laughs, delighted. Is that supposed to be a challenge? Not far from saying it's a big old spire of black rock glimmers and shines, but only under starlight. It seems to be balanced precariously on the cliffside, but it drives down deep into the earth. Stitcher should find it ideal. He scratches his head. Frankly, I'm not sure why they're in the city in the first place, unless they're just being lazy. That spire is a much better place for their kind. How the fuck do you know? Hmm.
Go.
Is it this easy then?
Why not?
Yeah, I know a better place for you to dig. A spire of black rock not far from here, full of the energies of prior worlds. Stitch's spiracles twitch, and an aroma of marble and clay pervades the area. Better rock? It seems to consider your words. Could find spire if we chose. Yes, that's sort of the point. I'll try to do this persuasion. I think you want your people to have a future. Do you want war with the humans above? They will collapse your tunnels. They will destroy you. Yeah, I can make 100% success this. Ooh, that's a neat observation there. I did not have anyone else. I was the only one who can communicate with this creature, so I couldn't choose one of my party members to try this. So it's all up to me. So that means it's probably a good idea to make myself the main conversationalist, because sometimes we might not have the option of using the others to sort of patch up our weaknesses. Chekekt considers your words for a time, and the scent that surrounds it vary from the frightening to the mundane. At last the smell of scent and strong glass walks past your nose, and Chekekt says, "Human give good reason. Yes, did ya comply?"
Making a note.
He places his hands on the wall, drumming a complicated pattern with his fingers. "We'll move people to new home in Black Spire. Such are not trouble brown grubs. We leave." Uh,
Why not?
is that it? I hope you have news for me. Yeah, news about the Sticha. I handled the negotiations with the Sticha. She lifts one foot to begin pacing, to start considering her options, and she stops. She slowly turns toward you, each eye rotating separately. She lowers her foot and turns to face you squarely and bites off each word. "What did you do?" I told Chekekt about a rock formation that would better suit their needs. The Sticha will be leaving soon. There's no need to steal their eggs.
I'm ready to become even more heroic!
You left their eggs with them. How will we enforce their exile without that leverage? She smooths her crest and blinks her eyes slowly. Fine, we can work with this for now. We have time to engineer another solution. She stops, a thought striking her. Did you promise them anything else? No. Good. Then our work here is complete and I can return the Council Tower. Ooh. You acquired a bonded item. These pieces of equipment are powerful Numenera artifacts that go into the bonded equipment slots on the inventory screen. When equipped, they fuse directly to your skeleton, nervous system or organs, providing significant positive effects, but their invasive nature can also produce negative. You can equip up to 2 bonded items at once. If your concentration skill is at a novice level, both items inflict their negative effects. If trained, you ignore the negative effects from the first item. If specialized, you shrug off all negative effects from bonded items. Your skill level is in ability. One of your bonded slots is locked until you improve the concentration skill. So we got a bonded item, 150 shins and 40 XP. I will credit you in my report. Right. So we get the credit from this. I wonder if that's enough for the airship. There's no harm in trying at least. We got +1 training level in perception skill. I have perception at specialized already. So what's the immunity to dazed and blinded? What's the specialized plus? Unlocks conversation. Yeah, what exactly does this affect though? Maybe plus 15% bonus per level of difficulty task marked with this skill? Probably, I would say. But who knows? Yeah, I like that. Okay, which of you losers gets a level up? You and you. The important fighters. Extra effort or ability and skill. I'm sort of thinking maybe initiative and endurance. Things that would allow us to deal things be better at in crisis situations. Extra effort is not a bad thing either. Quick fingers and stealth are handled by Rin. More running might be good for him. Issue a challenge. All enemies in range who fail to resist gain compel. Forced to attack you and receive negatives to their attack and willpower. I think this is basically going to be absolutely central. Extra effort wouldn't hurt either. The thing is, I don't see how I can keep Rin alive unless I jeez fuck. Unless I take right. I'm not sure if it's actually heard in the recording, but someone is fucking nailing things to the wall, and it makes a huge amount of noise. I think the issue in challenge basically is the only thing that will keep Rin alive in a situation where we are surrounded more or less. I can't form any kind of barriers or protect her otherwise. So I feel, while I don't think this is the best possible choice for me to make, I also think it's pretty much the only thing. Problem is, I don't really have the intellect. and it's an intellect ability. So how much do I want to enforce an ability that I can't really do much about? I have to take it. I honestly think Rin cannot be kept alive unless I can direct attacks on someone else.
Feels good.
Yeah, plus 15 on the attacks. I can bob him a little bit so he'll be harder to hit anyway. He has a decent amount of speed, so he should be resistant to physical attacks, but he's gonna need more intelligence. Speed and intellect. How good is his intellect? 6. That's not too bad. Just need to rest. You. Extra effort might not be a bad thing. We already have 2 edge on strength, so basically I can invest a single point without that edge. And that's not all that much. Survivability might not be a bad thing. Initiative. Secondary healer might not be a bad thing either, but I would be a better person for that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we should make sure that our hits actually hit, so extra effort. And we could then invest 2 points in our attacks.
I'm an even better pummeler of villains than I was before. Tiber, Tiber, do you have an ending for that story about the annoying glowing man yet?
Not yet, but I'm optimistic.
Let's see if we can solve the airship thief too. If not, we'll do other things. We have things to do. Right, one thing at a time, one thing at a time.
Go.
It's going to take forever for the Rin to get to tier 2. That will determine quite a bit. I mean, if she can't get anything useful even at tier 2, then we're in deep shit. The purpose of this protrusion eludes you, but the fact that there is one of them lined up with each outlet pipe emerging from the cliff wall can't be a coincidence.
Trust and honesty are our bonds.
On my way.
All right.
Then what? Well, there's Numenera. I'm not sure if I want to... Well, I need to at least find out what the fuck the guy
Yes.
wants.
Doing begets learning, I guess.
If not this, we'll just continue until we'll find someone who actually is part of the slave families. There was some kind of a lord in the Sega's Cliffs area. Certificate of Indemnity for Eridis. At least it's an option we can try. But Heli will help me. The cleric shrugs. I suppose she has the indiscretion to authorize such relief, provided she can find a suitable justification. He scribbles a message down and sends it off through a portal. A reply returns with admirable speed, and you can see from in elegant script that it was dashed off by a hurried hand. Whereas, assuming law and equity, clerk mutters. He lays the sheet down, embossed it with the lesser seal of Sega's place, then passes it to you. It is a certificate of indemnity, assuring Renio that he can collect any damages from the city's treasury. It seems Pelii found adequate justification.
Making a note.
Now, yeah, no, nothing else. Good
Let's
enough.
go all. You and me.
So with this, Rin is more or less secure, and Eritis is secure from any kind of negative consequences for his rash actions. We should also be able to secure a passage to the Tomb of Heroes. We're not gonna take it. Definitely not gonna take it. I haven't even revisited all the places yet. I would very like Turin to be tier 2 by the time we leave here. Let's talk about ways to clear Eritis' debt to you. What will you offer? Hand Renio the Certificate of Indemnity.
I'll remember that.
You pass the Certificate of Indemnity you got from the Council Clerk to Renio. He takes the document gingerly as though expecting it to bite and reads it, lips moving silently. They freeze mid-word. 40 XP.
Making a note.
Compensation for any and all damages? How in the world did you... Never mind. This is magic. I don't want to know how the trick was done. Thank you. You saved my family's business, and with that uncertainty out of the way, I'll be resuming flights to the Valley of the Dead Heroes shortly. Where do you travel? Once I flew as far as Augur Kala, soaring above Avrin Wood, and the unmeasured depths of Ordu Lake, above the lava fields of Ossipagan and the plains beyond. I flew south over the ruins of the Tabath homelands and east of the oasis of Mira Julios. Yeah, someone's nailing things to the wall again. He gestures at his single vessel. Now I fly solely to the Valley of Dead Heroes, conveying mourners and memorialists to their unchanging tombs. Tell me about Caravanserai. Steeped in history, my friend, and you've come to the right man to ask about it. He adjusts his clothes and stands taller. This was once a staging ground against our foes, the Tabath. Our ancestors could observe the approaching army from here and direct their forces to meet them. They say that the defense was commanded from up here. He points toward a rocky outcrop on the far side of the plateau. Now, instead of a place of war, it serves as a place of commerce, built for the good of all, both ourselves and our foreign guests. Sega's Cliff sits atop a great core of Numenera and goes a thriving business in this stuff. We import food, spices, textiles, and visitors from far-off lands. They arrive from Augur Kala, Astaria, and Hayrest, among many, many others. My friend, this is a focal point for commerce in the Sega's Protectorate. I play a small but proud part. Okay, what about yourself? The tiniest smile creases his face. I am the proprietor of this business and a ship's captain. In happier times, I ran a fleet of vessels to various ports of call. These are not happier times, and my fleet has been reduced. Now I have but a single vessel. Such is life. You build for your family, and vicissitudes of fate drive your plans into the rocks. But my struggling enterprise is the least of the gifts I hope to bequeath to my heirs. I try to teach them dedication, endurance, fairness in all things. He shoves his hands into his pockets. What good would it do through them to see me take unfair advantage? I would rather be ruined than teach them that falsity is the route to success. He laughs softly. My apologies. This has been much on my mind of late. You did not ask about my philosophy. Right. All important level up for me. Rin is basically one tier behind everyone else, at least. Yeah, it might have not been that bad if I would have done the slave girl quest at the start when we actually got it. Now it's yeah, that's gonna bite me in the ass. Stat pools, increase edge, extra effort. Actually, I'd like increase edge intellect. I only have one edge point there. And that's something I'm basically constantly using. So now we'll save the pool a little bit. It's not a huge deal, but it'll help.
Tiber, that story you were in the middle of. Can you just skip to the end and talk backwards?
It ends with the hero having to choose between patience and silence.
Ugh. Let her die.
Of course.
What exactly do we have unfinished?
Trust and honesty are our bonds.
I can think of a few things, but I don't know if they're a quest. There's quite a few people, like the headless guy, but I have no idea what to do with that.
I'm going.
This dilapidated structure has been converted into a cheap boarding house. Inside, people sprawl on filthy mattresses in a dimly lit room.
Trust and honesty are our bonds.
These three triangles float serenely above a scuffed stone basin. You can't help noticing that the citizens of Sagas are giving this monument a wide berth. The largest triangle shines brightly, radiating a soothing warmth. The middle, darker one, hovers above it, turned slightly away from the first with what strikes you as disdain. The third is small, dryly amused, and so deeply indigo as to be nearly black. It's removed from the first two triangles. You hesitate. You were sensing emotions from these objects, intent. Something is strange here. Crouch to look at the stone basin. The stone is cracked in places, but far newer than the ancient shapes that float above. You suspect that the citizens of Sagas added the basin to make the triangles look less out of place. Examine the smallest one. A tiny object spins slightly faster than the others. The more you stare at it, the more you sense a glowing presence in the air, icy regard of distant eyes. You blink, swaying. In the half second before you open your eyes, you hear the thunderous crack of wood on wood and the rumble of distant voices. You snatch your head from the triangle, your hand from the triangle. Okay, study the medium-sized. Staring at this triangle is disorienting. The longer you stare at it, the more you feel a tight coiling sensation in your own head. Standing on your toes and stretching, you manage to brush the triangle's icy face with your finger. The air thickens with like a weight over you, and you struggle to keep your eyes open. Between the thumping in of your heartbeat and you hear thousands of purposeful, rhythmic footsteps treading endless stairs toward a peak of a vast echoing room. Okay, large triangle. You reach out and time slows. Your hand drifts past individual motes of light dappled dust, moving into the warm glow of the large triangle. Calm warmth leads up your arm when you grasp the edge of the triangle. It's somehow rigid and flexible at the same time. You blink and a strip of light unwinds ahead of you like a path through infinite murmuring dark. Behind you is an ever-shifting zoetrope of linked motionless hues. It is your past, you realize, every second of it, every choice pouring out of you and trailing away into the black. You open your eyes. You're back at the stone ring, still touching the triangle. All three of them are watching you. You blink again. The strip of light, the surrounding darkness, and in the valley between the slow pulsing of your heart, you hear the murmurs of countless witnesses, the raised voices of your past and future companions, the heated condemnations of enemies you haven't met yet, and above it all, a trio of voices, one warm, one cold, and one dryly practical. They are speaking a verdict, but you can't hear them over the din. Okay, shout for silence so you can hear the judges. Ignore the voices and keep walking. Shut out the visions and... okay. They're giving me a sentence of sorts. Ignore the voices, keep walking. I'm not sure I care. In some ways, I'm similar to the slaver woman. I'll walk my own path. I'm not particularly interested in how others judge me for it. You stride on. Some of the innumerable witnesses cheer, others angrily denounce you. It doesn't matter, their voices fade into the darkness behind you, leaving you alone. The path unravels before your very every step. Your past unspools behind you. Stay on the path and to see where it leads. You follow the road. Casually, you look to the right and the path at your feet flickers, as if anticipating your new direction. Clearly, your choices define this road's course and not the other way around. You open your eyes. The three triangles hang in the air exactly as they did before, unmoving and silent. The vision is gone, and yet you can still feel the choices you've made, curving away behind you like a string of jewels. You straighten, moving into the future breath by breath. You suddenly notice a message carved into the stone ring beneath the triangles. Judge yourself. As you watch, it slowly fades away.
I'm going.
Shrug. Looks like a device that would create a bridge, but there's clearly a building there. And yeah, I can even see the opening there. I wonder if it's which way is it? Am I supposed to get in, or is it a way to get out in some place? That would explain why I can't seem to be doing anything in this place. I don't recognize any of the symbols though. Maybe you can help. Loss of self. It looks like there's a control panel here though, so it looks like this is where you ignite it. This young woman clutches herself and growls, low and continuously. under her breath. Pearly white light shimmers from a vial on her wrist, and her eyes are red-rimmed as if she's been crying. You've never seen her before, and yet your hands are sweating and your breath catches in your inherited chest. Shame burns your throat, hot and sour. Your body recognizes her even if you do not. "Leave me alone," she mutters, and it's a moment before you realize she's not talking to you. "You took my face, so my family. Whisper at me in my own voice. Isn't that enough? Isn't that—" She breaks off when she sees you. "She's in my head and she won't shut up. Talk loud, talk over her so I can hear you." You hear a woman in your head. "Yes," she says, biting the word like an enemy's throat. "Now stop talking about her. It brings her forward and she clings. She whines and she won't stop. So please stop talking about her." Okay, what's the shining object you're holding? She flinches but reveals the vial strapped to her wrist. It glows with an inner light, and the tiny ripples within seem to cast moving shadows on her palm. "I woke up one night in a building I'd never seen before," she says, soft and low. "I found this beneath a pile of blackened scales. If you shake it, it makes a picture. Watch." She jiggles the vial and holds up her other hand. Indistinct shadows mimic the motion on her palm. That's a dangerous weapon. You should give it to me. No. I'm interested in the item, but I'm not gonna cheat her out of it. Why are you holding on to it? "Because I feel like it was mine," she blurts, then grimaces, as if the words escaped without her permission. "At any rate, it's mine now, and I don't need more of a reason than that." Okay. I want to hear about the woman in your head. I'm sorry, but there's no other reason this person exists, as far as I'm concerned. "No, every time I think about her, she inches closer to me, pulls on my arm. Stop asking about her, please." Very well, okay, so I can't get anything out of her by talking about
Don't mind if
this.
I do.
But what is it? It's not a quest. At least not. She's not giving it to me. Item Citabo. Can I get something out of you? The large muscled man is practicing some form of martial arts as you look on. He's wearing an old white, rough-woven coat with the sleeves torn off, and a red bandana is wrapped tightly around his head. He seems to be moving much faster than his size suggests as possible. He glides between stances as swiftly as water. His fists are blurring hammers, striking at invisible enemies. His bare, calloused feet snap and slash at the air like knives. Where did you learn to fight like that? By challenging the deadliest creatures and studying their killing blows. I lack claws or teeth, but I do the best I can. They're very fast. Yes. The dribble's gift. His hand slips around an invisible assailant's arm. He snaps it with a stab of his elbow, then crushes his enemy's throat and flips him over his shoulder to the ground. "The Shantum Array!" he shouts, spinning over the invisible adversary's corpse to deliver a triangle of jabs to the chest of his next attacker. The entire set of moves took no longer than 4 seconds. He catches you staring and smiles. "You must be wondering why I'm shouting." "Yes." "I'm not surprised. I must look like a lunatic," he says before spearing his opponent's jugular with the 3 fingers. "Confit thrust. It helps me focus my breathing, my strength and will. It reminds me of how weak I once was, and how strong I've become. Years ago I was a starving beggar. I managed to steal a wedge of a pie crust and was terrified that someone else would take it from me. so I hid inside that metal structure over there to enjoy my feast. Bite of the hidden web, he says, clawing his enemy's eyes. The stale, the stale crust crumbled into pieces between my eager fingers, and something strange happened. They drifted toward the ground like the softest of snowflakes. I was able to pluck each of them from the air before they fell. At first I was delighted, then I wept. How far had I fallen that clean food was a miracle? He sighs, then delivers 4 more blows to the air's belly. But the miracle never ended. The longer I lived in that shelter, the more I could slow the world by concentrating. I swore to never waste this gift. I would honor it by becoming stronger, faster. I would challenge the predators of the world and take their killing blows from them. I would never be prey again. Brush thumb. I bet I'm faster than you. I think I'm gonna get killed, but you're not the first to think so. I'm not really a fighter though, so that's why I think I'm gonna get my ass kicked. He says casually, snapping an assailant's neck. I should warn you that all the others are dead. That's not a threat, I only fight to the death. He flings the invisible corpse aside. Before I accept your challenge, I'll need to see if you're good enough to face me. His fist flashes toward you. Truly's kiss. Right, block the punch and strike back. Yeah, it has to be me. You bat his fist aside and aim yours at his nose. He lowers his head, dashing your knuckles off his forehead. I underestimated you, he says, an odd light in his eyes. That won't happen again. Tell me when you're ready for the next round. Why do you insist on fighting to the death? I fight to learn my opponent's most powerful techniques. How can I be certain they'll use them unless death is on the line? Okay, I'm ready for the next part of your test. I think I'm gonna die, but that's not much of a problem for me. So am I, he says, nodding gravely. But prepare yourself, I will not hold back this time. The very assault. He launches a two-handed blow to your face. Parry and counterattack. You won't see it coming. Two-handed blow is pretty powerful. I'm not sure how you would parry that, but because it's a challenge, I think I have to take it. Yep. I can get 100% success. Take it. You launch into the attack, driving your arms up between his fists and pushing them apart. One hand whips around the back of his neck and pulls him into range of your forehead. Crack. He stumbles back, blinking, smiling. You are ready. Well, have I passed all of your tests? I don't think so. You have, but I will remind you one more time. This will be a fight to the death. Draws 1 foot back, settling his weight on it. His hands come up and draw apart, tightening into fists. Are you certain you want to do this? Let's do it. Very well. The challenge has begun. He regards you with the serene eyes of a predator, chest rising and falling. A warm wind tumbles across the stones between you. He flows with it, spinning away from the ground. His foot slices toward your head in a blur. Time slows as if the universe is holding its breath. Kokitan kick. Initiative and smashing initiative and quick fingers. Fist of the last cast off. Hammer of the changing god. I have no. I think I might have even inability smashing, so I won't do that. Quick fingers and initiative might be non-trained, so I at least have a chance at success with this. It's not a guaranteed thing, but it's a high probability. You lunge beneath his scything foot and slam your fist into his throat. He tumbles gracelessly to the ground, choking. Time resumes, flowing through you, and you feel some of Aiden's inhuman speed melding with your own reflexes. You have won, Aiden says, when he has regained some of his breath. Finish it. Permanently gained 1 speed pool. Why would I kill him? And rob this world of your talent? Never. Come challenge me later. I see. Perhaps I should have shown my other opponents the same mercy. Instead, their talent is lost forever. Staggers back up to his feet and resumes training. Are you going to be challenging everyone we meet to daring duels? Never mind, don't tell me. I want to be surprised. He works so hard. If you killed him, all his training would have been for nothing. I do thank you for not robbing the world of his talent. This square is a better. This square is a better place for the sight of him jumping about and flexing. Are you sticking your dick into every person that we come across? I see a few options for tides with these conversations. It seems like silver can be, I suppose, more or less created if we want to go for fame, challenge, I'm the greatest type of things. So we'll see. I want to try to avoid doing that, farming certain type of tides, certain color tides. But I think we're blue, silver, and gold is probably the most common ones. Passion would be red, and doing spontaneous shit, so that might be, but it's definitely a minority. Indigo, maybe occasionally, but again, I think minority. Blue, blue gold, blue silver is probably.
There it is. You remind me of a storybook.
What a horrible thing to say. What, you think I'm filled with words and endings?
Yes?
Okay. No real quests though. The small mechanical surgeon is roughly the size of your head. At the end of one of its arms, a trio of slender, razor-sharp blades flicks at the air. It's not clear whether it's trying to sense you or warning you to keep your distance. Examine it. The drone buzzes a warning at you as you lean in for a closer look. The retractable blades leap to your attention. Tiny shaft of light grazes the edge of each one, and they haze the air like tiny tongues. But you also notice a panel beneath the blades, fluttering like an insect's wing. Beneath, you catch a glimpse of a row of saw-toothed injectors. You notice you are tapping a tip finger against your leg, and it takes you a moment to realize why. A steady, gentle, soundless ripple is breaking against you like waves on a shore. The drone appears to have a heart. Huh. Actually surprised that I could do anything with them. Journal. This old man's skin is covered in makeup painstakingly drawn to resemble dark stone. His eyes widen briefly as he notices you, and his face and neck hardens into actual obsidian for a moment. Then he smiles and nods at you, his features mobile once more. So, did you recognize me? Welcome, welcome. Sorry about the stone. Polymorphic flesh modification, you see. I didn't see you walk up, and I assumed you were going to cut my throat and take my surgical parlor for yourself. Uh, why would you think such a thing? I do good business here. If I were a younger man looking to make a name for myself in this city, I'd kill me too. My surgical parlor is a marvel of the prior world, you see. Just pick an item or a service, pay my outrageous fees, and after only a short to long period of fairly safe but indescribable agony, you walk away with some horrible Numenera bits whirring away inside you. He pokes a few buttons on a device strapped to his wrist, and the lights twinkle across its length. A dark, glassy lens focuses on you. Well, interested. I can't help noticing that you're a very honest man. Well spotted, he says, nodding. Clear streaks of quartz run up his prominent cheekbones, revealing the muscle beneath. It's a side effect of my modifications. Couldn't lie to you even if you begged me to. Honesty is usually a hindrance to a businessman, but people seem to like it. So how did you come to own this parlor? It was originally a partnership. My colleagues and I spent 2 years digging it out and getting the whole mess working. Of course, we had to test the drones before we tried them on anyone else. Customers getting skinned alive on opening day is bad for business. Turns out that was a wise move. Gornak chose an intelligence modification and the drone cut off his head to work on it more directly. Neor picked strength, and the drone sliced off her arms. They defaulted to sever in those days. He smiles fondly. Anyway, 6 partners later, I was the sole proprietor. I worked out the kinks, and here we are, with no fatalities in months. No fatalities in months. Show me your list of items and services. Of course, he says, tapping a few buttons on the broad device encircling his wrist. The lens beams a cone of light directly onto your eye, which immediately begins watering. Blinking, you see a menu of items seemingly hanging in the air. Okay, cloth gauntlets. Okay, what the fuck are these? Cloth gauntlets. I knew that would catch your eye. We plant long hollow rods in your forearm with steel blades sheathed inside. Just flick your wrist and out they pop, surprising everyone who mistook you for unarmed. He demonstrates with his unoccupied wrist, making a shikt sound. 125 shins for the weapon and work both. I'm guessing this would be... Would this be unarmed combat, or is it treated as some kind of a weapon that you... Yeah, I'm not sure how you would treat that. There's no real unarmed combat skill in the game. I think it might be melee. What are the other options? Jagged memory. This is a tricky one. It's a mesh that fuses through your skin, leaving jagged marks like tattoos. When you attack, you'll always hit your enemy's old wounds, even if they weren't there before. I told you it was a tricky one. Yeah, I have no idea what exactly would the consequence of that be. Maybe a debuff on the enemy? Also, it seems like I'm the only one who can take these, not the companions. Encroaching Darkness. A beguiling name, isn't it? He says, his laugh lines crinkling. I'm glad you like it, because I'm not quite sure what it does. It's a living creature, you see, that crawls around your body while you sleep. Eventually it takes root in your nervous system and does something. He shrugs. Could be good, could be bad, could be both. It certainly won't be boring. 100 shins. Right. Darkness would implicate stealth ability in my opinion. Okay, what else? Blood and nanite. It's quite simple. Drones fill your blood with millions of tiny machines that probably begin devouring you alive until they learn to differentiate between your body and anything that's not supposed to be in there. After that, they'll do their level best to purge toxins and illnesses from your body with every pump of your heart. In case I wasn't clear, this one is really going to hurt. 95 shins, paid in advance, please. I have no idea how common toxins and illnesses are in this game. I haven't seen any items that would cure that. It could be it's basically a protection against certain type of debuffs too. So, who knows? Numenera analyzer. It's quite safe, most of the time. In almost 3 out of 5 cases, and the procedure couldn't be simpler. The drone simply saw open your skull, shove an implant into the right spot and seal everything back up again. He clasped his hands. Once they do that, the implant will help you identify the purposes of unknown Numenera. It costs 95 shins, but it pays for itself. Right. I don't think that's really my area. I have a decent lore skills. So I think I can actually spot what Numenera mostly do on my own. Actually, I haven't taken a look in my inventory for a while. I might be able to know more about the items. Artificial eyeball. Really? Very popular item. The meat ones wear out so easily. This one never does, and it will help you spot things normal eyes miss. All it takes is one-time cost of 110 shins and a tremendously unpleasant operation. So maybe more perception again, but I already have it on a specialized plus level, so I'm not too interested. How painful are these procedures? That is a popular question, and it does vary from procedure to procedure, but if you're seeking a general idea. He taps his chin thoughtfully. My customers usually range between shrieking for a merciful death to groaning while soiling themselves, if that helps. But they almost always seem happy with the results, when they survive. He smiles. Now, are you ready to buy something? No, I'm not particularly interested in any of these. I have no idea what the consequences of having these Numenera inside you are. I have to... Here's the thing. The only person I've seen that has had these excessive amounts of Numenera has been the one that's turning into an insect. So I'm not particularly interested. Cool. I've talked to you before. Can everyone buy improvements from the parlor? Yes, you pay the keeper and the drones remake your body the way you want. So what sort of changes are you considering? What do you care? I'm sure you have business somewhere in the city. I don't want to be any trouble. Why did you look at me strangely earlier? His mouth trembles as though he's wrestling with a question he doesn't want to ask. Doesn't feel good to be stared, does it? He says at last, looking back at the parlor. He seems to be deflecting your question, though it isn't clear why. Okay. Underbelly. Fifth Eye Tavern. I don't think I've been in Fifth Eye Tavern. I'd really like to get some kind of a quest. Clearly there are things available here for me to still do. Underbelly also has a few things. Doesn't matter which one, just give me something.
I'm going.
Oh!
Fine.
Oh! Let's talk to you. Our friend from Planescape Torment. Your eyes cannot focus on this person. Whether male or female, you cannot say, but it comes with a force that both attracts and repels you. You feel a sense of amusement as its regard settles upon you. You speak with awe. You have tasted the truth in the form of machine lubricant. You have contemplated the totality of human existence. Speak quickly and true. World slows around you. Who are you? I am O. You might call me an ultra-terrestrial, though I am far more. I am from beyond space, behind time, above your comprehension. Your mind has chosen this form for me, and I am content to exist in this structure. But know that I exist also outside of your subjective experience. Some might describe me as a superpositional extraction of fundamental universal laws made tangible. He gestures languidly, and you understand perfectly. I am a word made flesh, a letter that lives, a concept covered in a false skin, infinitely malleable, essentially unknowable. What does it mean to be a word? I was, am, will be. I see into the infinite past, into the illimitable future. When the cosmos erupted into a sea of light, I saw it. When the mechanism winds to a sad and creaking end, I will weep. At the moment of At the moment the great wings of death enclose creation, I am the last vestige of dust, frozen, forever perfected. What are you doing here? I am here to see the final attempt at entry by the adversaries. I am here to offer a vision to Leto. Final attempt at entry by the adversaries. I'm here to offer a vision. Did you say this was the final attempt at entry by the adversaries? The adversaries thought to peel through realities, devour this world as they have others. They have never lost. This world is their first taste of defeat. Within themselves, the eaten cores of their victims begin to stir. The adversaries will cease to exist in any meaningful form within a millennium if they are stopped here. This is an inflection point. If the warriors here succeed, the adversaries do not rise again for an eon. So it is written. Um, you said you had come to offer a vision to Leto? She is prescient. She is the mother of empires. The adversary's presence has polluted her vision, and she has strayed from the page. I am here to reunite her with the truth. I do not intervene, but this story was true, so it is true, and so this is not an intervention. The vision will come when you have left the city. Where did you come from? You would not understand. Let me show you. Its eyes widen, expanding to fill the room. Your vision, your consciousness, and you tumble into a starry immensity. Swirls of nebulae twist and knot, and in the hearts of these stellar clusters roar hungry vortices. You tumble helplessly into a myriad of them at once, torn apart and reformed in an instant. A being of pure light and will, You find yourself standing in the fifth eye again. Your nose is running and tears streak your cheeks. You wipe them away numbly and you realize your hand is streaked with blood. Permanently gained one intellect pool. 1 point of health pool damage. Too much information. Too much knowledge. Had I shown you more, the energies that bind you together would have failed. Okay. Very well. No. Very well. A moment. None here will know of our conversation. None will know its nature. None see me, nor will they recognize any sign of me. Even in this remarkable place, they cannot know. But I give you a gift, cast off and God and man, for yours is a true story. It is welcomed into the world. It was born from desire and will end in... But no, I do not tell your fortune. Light envelops you, and when you open your eyes, it all is gone. Permanently gained full health pool. Yay! Continue, live, breathe. Okay. The most distinguishing feature of this tall, vaguely awkward man is the yellow shirt he wears. He seems desperate to fade back into the scenery. When he sees you notice him, he gives you a faint, uncomfortable grin. Something about him seems off, as if he were a flicker in the air, or strangely two-dimensional. He does not seem to emit a sense of presence at all. Why can't I sense you? Skist, he mutters. The yellow shirt fades away, and then the skin, muscle, and bone. What remains is a vaguely humanoid shimmer. I'm Isk, Erin, a transdimensional projection from a distant past. This abacus form, this is not the truth of me, trapped in this body, but I am not this. I am Isk, Erin. Right, what is an abacus? A ghost, transdimensional. It feeds. I only watch and learn. Where are you from? Distant past? Epochs ago? Tuning through time to see future. Overshot. It shrugs vaguely. Maybe next visit? Can you affect this reality? Only words. The ghostly hand passed through you. Nothing touches. Only ideas. No physical energy conveyed. How did you get to this place in particular? When casting through time, saw light, drawn to civilized thought, admiring psychics. Okay, can't really do anything, but just bar full of
Learning
weird
begets
people
doing.
again.
Or is it the other way?
Ghostly woman, almost the soul keeper. For a moment, you are not entirely sure if you look upon a construct or a human. The plastic sheen of this pale man's skin suggests artificiality. But if he is a construct, he is so cunningly constructed, so close to the human baseline that the illusion is nearly perfect. Except his head is a trifle too large, his eyes black buttons. Then you realize the truth. He is a visitant, his home many millions of miles distant. Almas, my name. What can you tell me about yourself? He lifts his great head slowly and fixes you with a dolorous gaze. I'm Almas. I'm the keeper of souls, last of my kind. Only survivor of a civilization that spanned time and space. Now they are gone, their stars black, reality's wind carry me. He turns his head back toward his ring. What happened to your people? The highest caste of power. Control we minds, ideas, for all souls of empire. Great web we wove, shining with power. But other nodes, they winked away, until only I remained. His fingers strum on the tabletop. An image of my people I carry, but no place to make it real. A domain lost, I alone and paralyzed with indecision and fear. How did you get here? Not my time, not my place, yet when the connection to home broke, a beacon shone here. 5 minds drew me, a light in darkness. They were not a light to understand. They were safety, surety, while a new home I find. In this place I have clear thought, untarnished. How did your civilization die? A doubt arose. It took seed, took flight. These thoughts connected to our network. These questions spread like a disease. Trust, mistrust rooted, notes decohered. Without notes, without control of dreams, the civilization falls. And then they are gone. I alone remain. What was the doubt that destroyed your civilization? I do not know. I do not recall. Yet something in his stance suggests otherwise. Hmm. Tell me the doubt that destroyed your civilization. I know you know. I do, yes. It was my doubt, mine, my question. I asked only, what if our way is not best? What if our people have desires of their own, wants that we do not give? He places a single hand across his eyes and then slowly slides it away. The other began to see and question. Questions gave way to self-doubt. Self-doubt gave way to self-hate. I wanted only to know what is best. How do we become better? Not to tear us down, but I shone a bright light on behavior, on truth. But our center could not hold under truth. His wet, terrified eyes fixed on yours. Was I to blame? Is civilization's end affixed on me? In dreams I see their faces, but not their minds. Tell me truly, is the fault mine? We can use a title search to erase his doubt. I'm very reluctant to just use the title searches casually. I'm not sure what the consequence is going to be. I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing. It might not be either. But I at least have a one memory that using the title search as a blade uh, came with a heavy cost. And the slave woman damages her people around her by using the title surges. So basically, I think the game is basically going to fuck me over somehow if I use it continually. So if we have other options, I'd prefer other options. Are you sure they're gone? What if they saw your doubt and just cut you away, cast you aside? I have no idea. Personally, the title search dialogue option is one I would like to take, but I would not like to use the title search. Questions will make you stronger, but I can't say that. So we'll go with the, are you sure they're gone? What if they saw your doubt and just cut you away, as you aside? Not sure if that's something he wants to hear though. I could say that he's blameless, but how that's horseshit. He's blameless in the sense that he could not foresee the consequences, but he's he started this fall of dominoes. So that would be an empty thing to say to him. I wouldn't believe that horseshit if someone came and tried to comfort me with those words after I'd done something with terrible consequences. Are you sure they're gone? Right. Horror dawns on his face. Is this why I cannot feel them? Why I retain only an image? He closes his eyes and concentrates hard. Around the bar, other patrons wince and cover their ears with their hands. You feel the brushing of a great and terrifying howl of anguish. He whispers, I am alone. I feel an echo but no true response, as if they hide. He pulls his hands apart and you have the sense of a vast network of power contained between them. He raises his hands before his face. And then he crumbles his fist. The energy vanishes. I have severed the last connection. The last hope. If they exist still, they must exist without me. Let me be forgotten. No more. No more. He drops his head and weeps. Yeah, I think the title search would have been our only option to really get any kind of a, yeah, sensible thing out of this.
Look out below! Above! Sideways!
Ghostly woman. You draw closer, but the wispy form of the woman in the booth does not clarify. You can hardly discern the details of her ghostly face, and you hear a chorus of whispering female voices that swarm around her like giant moths. Study her face more carefully. You peer more closely at her, and she takes no notice of you. Her features are those of a teenage woman leaving childhood behind. You have seen her face before, somewhere in the city. The ghostly woman could be her twin. Listen to the whispers. They are on the verge of comprehensibility, but they brush against your mind just below the level of conscious thought. You have a sense of vague longing, of loss that touches you and leaves you empty. Who are you? She has been ignoring you, but without a transitional state, her face is suddenly and furiously focused on yours. Another flicker and her hands wrap around your throat. Ghost or not, her fingers are very real and they are choking the life from you. You could try to escape or let the ghost strangle you. I mean, I'm not gonna die from strangling. But, could someone help me? I'm not sure I want to just die here. You manage to wrest her fingers from your throat and you hurl her away. You come up in a crouch, ready for another attack. She is looking away from you as if nothing had happened. Draw her attention again. Again, in a flash, she is upon you, her fingers digging into your throat. I don't have any other option than just basically let her strangle me. So, here we go again. Her fingers dig deeper. She's not just compressing your trachea, she's tearing your throat out. You choke and caw, drowning on your blood, but she is latched inside you, and the last thing you see is her rage-twisted face.
I can't die.
Must be an interesting thing traveling with this guy. Ooh, something new. Daughter's Fathom. Okay.